Do I look amazing? Is that what you're asking?
No, I was asking for what do I look amazing?
No, you look good. You look good. You look ready. You look. Let me just double check with the mic because sometimes it makes scratching noises when it's not. Hi, welcome to Refined Soul. This is a soulful community where we get to share, grow, connect together, and understand each other's perspectives, share stories and our journeys and what made us who we are today. So today we have Kutlwano Moloi. He is in charge of the Moloi Leadership Business Firm. So tell us about your firm, what you are about. Who is Kutlwano? How did you become the person you are today?
Kutlwano is a human being more than anything else.
Yeah.
Human being who on a daily basis just breathes in and out.
Yeah.
Like the rest of us. And career-wise, I'm an entrepreneur. We have a couple of businesses that we are working on, but the main one that people really talk about is the leadership firm. And what we do there, we are basically like a group of superheroes. And we are really changing the world, making a difference in our communities, creating an impact and letting the universe know that the youth are here and the youth are here to fundamentally reconstruct the consciousness of our people and ensure that we are living in, a world that's equal and just. So that's some of the work we do. We go to schools, we teach people about business, self-development, leadership, because we do believe that in Africa there's a huge leadership problem. Our leaders currently are mismanaging resources and we just don't have capable and competent leaders in positions of power. We're actually uplifting our people. So our firm is there to ensure that we coach and train the next generation of leaders who are going to create a new world and a new system and new thought ways and new philosophies. So that's what's happening in the firm. It's a lot. But if you really want to know the work we do, check us out on our social media pages, on all our outlets. She's also going to be in the firm. Just look out for that. But that's some of the incredible work we do. So yeah, that's Kutlwano. I'm an author. Last year we published a book titled Water Your Soul. It was a poetry and theology, 9 poems. We talked about just, cleansing your soul because we live in a world where literally people envy, jealousy, judgments, all these negative emotions, and our souls are not pure. And when I wrote the poetry book with the help of an incredible organization called Neo Healing Institute by Neo Masilela, and we just created the whole project and we published it, and it was an incredible book. So yeah, that's who I am. I read, there's a lot. I don't really want to talk about awards and accomplishments and things like that, because I think it's
There's
not
many.
But we're just really keen on transforming Africa and ensuring that the next generation of leaders are in good hands.
Definitely. So I remember we had a conversation at some point, and the one thing that stuck with me was that you believe humanity is at a very specific point in the course of our existence. Can you expand on that? What point are we reaching? What changes need to be made? What were you actually implying in the first place?
So it's really about understanding the time we are in, right? And there is 3 different types of time. There is cyclical times, there is ancestral times, and there's contemporary times.
Okay. Explain this, because I didn't hear. I only know one time. It's 1 o'clock. That's the only time I know. And seasons of the year.
So when we're talking about ancestral time in an African context, we are in a very delicate time in the continent where now change is about to happen. And we're about to now witness a new era of prosperity, a new era of wealth, a new era of actually transformation within the continent. This is the time of Wakanda, as I'd like to say. And we are moving into that. And it purely because for 200, 500, 300 years, African people have suffered. African people have lived in oppression, colonization, discrimination, and all these injustices. So just like how the world works in cycles and it works in balance, like how does, when there's summer, there'll be winter. Just as there'll be good times, there will be bad times. And just as there'll be bad times, there will be good times.
Oh, I see.
So now as a people, as a continent, we've experienced so much bad times now that we are moving into good times. And those are the times of prosperity. Those are the times of innovation. Those are the times of wealth. Those are the times of thinkers such as you and I to emerge and really impact society in a positive way. So that is ancestral time. And it is
It was contemporary time,
which now talks about the current.
Yeah.
What's happening in the moment right now.
Okay.
We're recording this podcast. That is the contemporary time. And what are the contemporary issues?
Yeah.
So those are the challenges of this time. Then we have the cyclical times, just times that work in cycles. And those are the God times. Those are times beyond us, which we do not have that level of comprehension because we are not that advanced as a beings. So those are the times. So yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you're focused on the ancestral time, I would say.
Yeah.
That's the part I would say you're particularly passionate about. And so I think due to colonialism, obviously, we're coming from an age of darkness, an age of not accessing the right information that activates inherently who we are as a people. So I have this personal stance that the reason why there's a lot of mismanagement with our leadership in Africa and South Africa is because we're not intentional. And that's the topic for today's podcast. It is the power of intention and the power of sowing your seeds. So after apartheid, a lot of people's intentions was to unite South Africa and almost try and move past the segregation and the discrimination and the hate different races probably had towards each other and the systemic racism and all the things that came with colonial rule and its impact. And now a lot of leaders have childhood, right, during apartheid, right? So they were driven to end apartheid and they had that energy to end it. And this is post-apartheid. We need new intentions. We need new seeds to be sown. The seeds of freedom have grown. It has sprouted. We've experienced it. We are the generation that gets to experience the freedom. We are the born free. What is the next step for South Africa? What is the next step for Africa in their own, as a continent? So is that where Moloi's leadership firm is birthed from? The fact that we do lack intention, we lack vision, we lack purpose, because it's like, if you were to ask a minister right now, what is the future of South Africa for you? And does that wake you up in the morning where it's like, I'm here to serve this country for real? And I don't know if they can give me an honest answer, a passionate answer to say that, yes, this is what we're working towards. And I'm very happy and passionate to dedicate my life towards it. I think they've passed their time, they've passed their prime, they've passed that I have this incentive to look after my people because now they're looking after themselves. So is that where Moloi Leadership Firm is situated in terms of its purposefulness, a new intention, a new seed to be sown for our future? And what does that future look like?
Yeah, firstly, isn't she incredible, guys? Come on, let's just commend her.
Wow, it's the incense, man. It's making me real comfortable, real zen, zoned in. Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Yes, it is birthed from that.
Yeah.
For a desire for a transformed continent.
Yeah.
Right? Africa is in the situation it's in right now due to a lack of proper management.
Yeah.
African leaders have not been properly educated on how to manage the national and continental resources of our land. They've been exploited due to their ignorance and miseducation that has led them to make these poor decisions based on our governance, on our social conditions, on our economic structures, and society as a whole. So the problem of us is not a problem that we lack resources, or it's not a problem that we as African people are, stupid. No, it's a problem that it's a leadership issue. Even when you do have these leaders, they're utterly corrupt, looting state resources. Right now, we have a huge organizational criminal affair happening with the ANC, where they've been looting the state for years. And this is not just them, but this is also other municipalities. So we understand that it is a leadership thing. And I think the future of South Africa is us as young leaders realizing that we need to rise up to the challenge of politics. Because politics is the science of how people are governed and how people are ruled. The word governance means govern the mind, which means govern is a Latin word for control. Ment comes from mentality, which means mind control. My issue is who is controlling our minds? Who are in these governments? Who are these officials? And have you checked their characters? Because I believe Africa right now is suffering from a character issue.
Yes, a sense of character, values,
We lack character. That's why we're so passionate as a firm about educating young people in schools, because we need a new generation of leaders with refined characters. Because if we're still going to have the same characters, we're still going to have the same individuals looting state resources. And we need a leadership that's responsible, a leadership that actually has a sense of community. We need to go back to principles such as Ubuntu. So we need to fundamentally restructure the government. We need to fundamentally restructure our religious and belief system. We need to fundamentally restructure the whole culture. And my belief is that we need creatives to do this. You know,
I hear you.
We don't need professionals. We don't need accountants. We need creatives, people who create with new ideas, fresh perspectives. We are tired of the old ways of doing things. We need creative individuals who are going to create a new world. The greatest projects we can take as artists is that of creating the world.
So do you think we live in an old world with old structures and old systems that is not accommodating for the new wave of us, the youth? Is that where you're coming from? Because you're coming from a very creative perspective, and I think capitalism and the way society is run, it doesn't really promote and bring being creative to the forefront.
Exactly. Besides that, it started molding proper characters within ourselves. And you would also agree with this. There are organizations of capitalism rule who are just focused mainly on profits. And it's not necessarily about impacting people's lives or necessarily about creating change within the world, but milking our land and ensuring that they're taking all the resources for their own capital gains. For private ownership.
Who is Kutlwano Moloi, and how do you align with being a leader within yourself? What is your intention? How do you sow your seeds? What are your values and your sense of character?
It's really a daily practice, honestly.
Yes, definitely it is.
And to begin with, I have this practice where I have all my core values written down,
That's important. Definitely, that's very important, yes.
What I represent as an individual, what are those principles, things like commitment, things like leadership, things like love, order, respect,
Respect,
having these values that guide you. I think those are some of the things that I have as an individual, and I go through these every morning. I have a vision board in my space, so I get to even look at my visions on a daily basis and actually get to see the individual I'm manifesting to become.
100%. That's really good. That's literally like what intention is all about, because we do live in a world where we can essentially become zombies. We can get lost in the source. Day 1 turns into day 20, it turns into day 365. It's the end of the year, and then people wonder where the time goes. And the reason why people feel like time goes so fast and we feel like we're behind in certain things, it's because we lack intention with our day-to-day lives. We lack that sense of, this is who I am and this is how I'm showing up for the day. There's actually, in Native American cultures, right? They believe that as the sun rises, when you hear birds sing, it's them professing their identity to the sun, so that the sun can illuminate who they are for the day. So if I'm going to be this person and I profess and I say, this is who I am, the sun affirms it, and then I project that for the rest of the day, because the sun represents illumination, state of being, and identity in esoteric and occultic practices.
She just winked me, guys. Did you see that?
There's a little bit of a spiritual element of it, but Native Americans do believe that.
That's incredible.
And so they have that stance that like nature is very intentional, and that's why there's like such a unique and sophisticated order in nature, to the point that we have a whole science dedicated to it, because it takes time to really categorize and understand what it's about. So nature has a very sophisticated order, and it commits to who it is. If a tree woke up one day and decided that it wasn't going to be intentional, you can see it in its properties. It wouldn't be what it is. A cactus wouldn't be a cactus if it didn't profess to become a cactus on a day-to-day basis, on a DNA level. And I think when it comes to us, we also need to start practicing this sense of being intentional, the sense of having a purpose, recognizing our values and reintroducing ourselves in terms of what we want to align with into the future, especially because it has a lot to do with reprogramming. It has a lot to do with like really molding your mind to be the person that you want to be. There was a book that I was reading called The Intention Experiment, right? And they were talking about how Muhammad Ali used to do mental rehearsals before he would box. So he would basically visualize whenever his opponent would hit him, he would visualize the fact that the hit wouldn't affect him as much. He would visualize the fact that the pain wasn't that painful, so that when he was in the ring, he wouldn't be as thrown off by the hits from someone else.
Absolutely. So
as well as winning. Yeah, he
with me,
visualized that.
I think with me also, I do something similar because I believe it's 80% mindset, 20% skill set.
Yeah.
So I don't even think I'm the most talented in what I do. Not even.
Really?
No, it's just that I have this kind of mindset where in my mind, like I'm the best and no one else can tell me otherwise. And it's this sense of confidence and this energy that you need to like exert in the world so people can feel that vibration, right? And when people feel that vibration, they respond accordingly.
100%.
So too much of us are not actually vibrating on our God self. We're not aware that we do have that creative element within ourselves to actually create our realities.
Yeah.
So most of us are living through reality disempowered, not believing that we are actually capable of creating our dreams and having all our manifestation happen. And we can. And it's just a level of mindset, understanding that you are talented, you are capable, and always affirming yourself, you know. I do that all the time. Like I always, every day when I wake up in my risings, I talk with myself like, no, you're the best. This is the work we're doing.
You're the best. Yeah.
This is the work that we're doing. This is how we're transforming lives. We're really doing this. And it's just reminding yourself, I think I'm my biggest hype man. And you have to be, you know, because the greatest leader of all time, in my opinion, Marcus Garvey once said that without self-confidence, a man is twice defeated.
Damn.
Right.
Okay. I'm just sitting with that. I'm letting it cook. Let me let that cook. Wow. Okay, let's continue.
I study a lot of war, the art of war, right? And I study a lot of like Sun Tzu's work.
Yeah, strategic thinking.
Yes. And Sun Tzu says that victory is claimed before the battle even begins. Yeah.
I agree.
It has to
100% agree.
In the mind.
Wow. And how has that like helped you on your journey?
It has been incredible. Like I've manifested a lot of things this year. It's incredible. I was just having a conversation with Lorado.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Like I don't know if people actually give you props for what you've done, but like when I first came across you on Instagram, I immediately thought confidence, number one. Number two, you just carry, it seems like you're in the end. I don't know what the end looks like to you, that vision being actualized, but I can see that you're there already. And everyone just needs to catch up. Reality needs to catch up. God needs to get them in and be like, shit, he's already there. I need to actually make things happen to catch up. That's the energy you give off. And that's why I was so keen and so open to connect with you, because you're just such a genuine soul. And even when we first communicated, we hit it off immediately. Like we were on the same page about a lot of things immediately. So props to you, props to your vision, props to what you're about. Don't give up, keep doing what you're doing. I feel like this is like an outro, Nyana, but I just really need to give you your flowers for that. So yeah, you were saying?
Thank you. Oh my God.
Yeah, how is that manifested for you? Being intentional and seeing that, having that vision.
The universe responds to your vibration. There's a lot of work we are doing in the firm with my researchers where our goal is to actually optimize human potential. So we are always thinking, okay, why? How can we make humans actually thrive to their best? And we realize that, no, actually, it's all in the mind, because we live in an electric magnetic field. And the thoughts that we emit go onto the field.
100%.
And it's like, if you have positive thoughts, you attract positivity within your reality. If you have negative thoughts, that's what you bring upon your reality. So we're really working on, okay, how can we like change the thinking of people? How can we make people believe in the vision of themselves? And when I did this work as an individual, I realized that I've been in spaces, I've met people, I've done things that I could hardly dream of. I mean, I've been in awards that no one my age could even dream of being at. And it's just the basic, like, just being intentional with how you move about. I have this system and I'm going to give you, I hope the audience is listening.
Yeah.
It's called Christ. This is a system that MBO is developing, going to be released next year.
Okay.
Christ is actually a personal development tool.
Okay.
And it's actually an acronym. It means career, relationships, intelligence, physical, economic, and spiritual.
Okay.
So this is, you design your life in these 6 pillars. So in your day-to-day basis, what are you doing to actually cultivate and boost your career? So you have tasks aligned to that.
Yeah.
Relationships, who are you going to talk to?
Yeah.
Which relationships do I need to cultivate?
Yes, 100%. I agree with that.
You have your intelligence. Okay, what do I need to learn? How can I improve my skill sets? You know, academically, am I finishing my assignments? You know, am I actually boosting myself intellectually? Then you have physical. Are you actually taking care of your body? Your physical, are you exercising? You know, are you actually making sure that you are maintaining a long life? Because exercise is this crack to youth. It's the hack to youth. If you exercise, you never age. Scientifically speaking. So it's like, okay, how do you keep yourself physically active? Economically. 100%. Are you financially healthy? Are you managing your finances? Are you paying your bills? Are you meeting your deadlines? Are you meeting your financial goals? Are you investing in your future? Spiritually, are you connecting to God? What's your relationship or whatever you believe in? So it's about making sure that you approach life that holistically. So that's how I move in terms of making sure some of my intentions actually go about and I'm actually able to manifest within this realm.
100%. And that's what I actually wanted to cover, which is the intricacies involved with being an intentional person and also maintaining boundaries. So if you say you're going to be this person or explore different avenues of your life in a very specific way, I also do stand by the fact that if anything is on the contrary to your vision, you put the necessary boundaries so that you can stay focused, stay on path, and stay being about what you're about, especially if you're introducing something different into your life. More often than not, the people in your life are not going to be as receptive to it because they're used to who you were, and they're not naturally open to the fact that you're human, you're subject to changes, and you're subject to transformation. So when you decided to take on this role for yourself, was there friction in your personal life?
Of course.
When that occurred? Explain that to us.
Yeah, there were, with evolution, with growth comes discomfort.
Yeah.
Growth is a very uncomfortable process because it requires you to stretch.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily comfortable, especially for people in your life who are not accustomed to the process of actually growing and stretching themselves. Now it becomes a challenge for their own evolution as well. Right? So I lost friends. Some family members couldn't understand my change and metamorphosis into this person that I am.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of friction, but it's expected, right? Because when energy grows, there is friction there. So I did lose some friends. People didn't particularly react well to this new version of myself. And but I'm in a good space. It's not necessarily what about people think, or it's about who you are as an individual and your expression and ensuring that you're optimizing your potential.
100%. That was good.
Thank you.
Do you find yourself being hung up over it though? Over the fact that, okay, you saw me in a particular way and that's less than who I am now. And how were you able to deal with that?
No, like I'm a general. It's war out here, and it's basically like in war, you must understand that you can't carry dead weight. Right.
Yeah.
So people from the past are dead weight. I cannot take you into my future, where I'm going, the battles I'm going to be fighting.
Okay.
You don't belong there. So you dead weight. You're going to be holding me back. So I don't necessarily have any regrets or any remorse about the people that we left behind.
Yeah.
It's the journey and we move forward, right? Okay. And we open space for new individuals to enter our life. I'm meeting individuals such as yourself. I'm meeting Lorato. I'm meeting the queen right here. And it's all incredible, and it's about us just ensuring that we align with the relevant individuals there.
Definitely. So have you had moments where you felt like you were being inconsistent with your intentions?
Of course, actually, that's where I am right now.
Yeah.
You know, I believe right now I'm actually inconsistent with my intention. And the way I'd like to put it as an African spiritual healer is that it's a matter of understanding that which basically means in certain Sesotho that we work with spirit, right? And it's basically a matter of if we run out of spirit, if we run out of that inspiration, inspiration comes from the Latin word in spirit. So when you inspire someone, you actually move their spirits, you actually communicate to their spirits. And at times that spiritual essence of us runs dry. Man, maybe it's because we're not engaged in prayer. Maybe we're not doing Olarato yoga, whatever the case may be. And then our spirit is just dry, and it's just about us ensuring that we are engaging in spiritual practices that cultivate us to ensure that to actually move forward and evolve within this dimensional realm.
Okay. How do you stay in alignment? Do you have people in your life that keeps you in check, or are you just that self-motivated?
You have to be self-motivated, honestly speaking, man, because it's all about passion. I always tell people that I only want to work with obsessive people. If you're not obsessed about your work, I don't really want to work with you.
Okay.
Because it's like you don't have that level of dedication that I'm looking for. And when we actually work with leaders, the leaders we actually look for, we're looking for people with dedication. People who actually have a drive towards their work. People who actually obsessed about their work. Olagato's always talking about her work all the time. Because she's obsessed about her craft and everything she's doing. And that's the kind of individuals we're looking for, people who are actually determined enough and have that drive and that passion to fuel, is that you need passion to fuel your intention.
100%.
And without that passion, without that self-motivation, you run dry. So yes, you definitely do need people in your life who can hold you accountable. Family members. I know, for instance, when I'm not working out, and when I'm at PTA with my grandma, chica, like, hey, look at your shoulders, you're getting skinny. What's happening? And it's just, and that's just her saying that, yo, dude, what's happening? You're not taking care of your body. Switch on, So you do need individuals like that who will hold you accountable in different aspects of your life.
Okay. So what is the vision for Moloi Business?
We transform in Africa, baby. What you mean? That's a vision.
It's a ghost.
The vision is to actually change people's lives.
Yeah. At the end of the day.
Yeah, to really fundamentally reconstruct the consciousness of humankind.
Definitely.
Right? We need new political philosophies. We need new economic philosophies. We need new environmental philosophies. And we need a new breed of leaders that are going to ensure that we bring that new era into the world. So the vision is about literally creating Wakanda, but in our own way.
Yeah.
How can we actually create that African utopia?
Yeah.
Where opportunities, wealth, prosperity, technological advancement in medicine, in engineering, where we actually are breaking grounds in science as a people. So the vision is for us to be excellent. The vision is for us to be community builders and to live within Ubuntu instead of this separation and this individualism that capitalism is bringing in African cultures.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was beautiful. Okay, this was Kutlwano Moloi. On Refined Soul, we're talking about intention and the power of sowing your seeds. And essentially, I want to close off with this thought that when people talk about intention, it's never brought to the forefront as something that is necessary and should be part of our daily lives. But it is, and it should be necessary because being intentional directly reflects with how purposeful you are as a human and how much you want to align with your sense of values on a day-to-day basis. We operate based off of old programmings that we were brought up with through our environment, our teachers, our parents, our family, whatever what was taught into us, we replay that version in different ways as we get older until we decide to wake up and decide to become a different person, align with what we want to align with and make it into actuality. And so being an intentional person allows you to sit down and reflect and ask yourself, what am I bringing into my life that is new, that is different, that is progressive, and that transcends my predecessors and those who walked before me? Because that's why you're here. You're here to introduce something different. You're here because you have a unique genetic and spiritual DNA that needs to be expressed into this world. And it starts with intention. It starts with waking up every day and deciding that this is the person you're going to be today, not the person that you were, not the person that people think you are. Whoever you decide today, tomorrow, and every day going forward, until you saturate your mind and your subconscious and your conscious mind is convinced that you are this new person and you're birthing these new things into your life. That's what it means to be intentional. It is powerful, it is potent, it is medicine, and it is something I feel like everyone should dedicate themselves to if we want to progress as a society, civilization, as humans, who we are as a people. We're not meant to be stagnant. Nature is never stagnant. The only constant is change. We need to adapt. We need to grow. We need to evolve. Just like nature, with my environmental philosophies. So, yeah, this is Refined Soul. My name is Mosibudi Molokomme. This is Kutlwano Moloi. See you next time, babies. Congratulations!